Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first podcast of Till the End of the Line. I am Juan G.
Kika Torres.
Right here. We are here with you guys. Thank you guys for sticking with us, to our fans that have been with us since we started the Instagram account. Thank you for being patient with us. You know, we had to gather the Infinity Stones before we got this going. So we just want to thank you guys for sticking with us. We finally got everything, ready to go for you guys. We're looking to have a lot of fun. This is Nerdvana. We are just going to be talking about everything MCU, but we're not just going to be restricted to MCU. Everything comic book. We're going to be talking about, DC some days. We're going to talk about a little bit of sci-fi stuff like Star Wars, stuff like that. We might even throw a little, pop culture movie that we're liking that's coming out, like a John Wick or something like that. Just different things. So let's get this thing going. Kika, what's up first?
Comic meaning, what it meant to us growing up as a child, as an adult, teenager. How are we going to relate to all of it and what all of it meant to us growing up and to what it means now.
All right, go ahead, kick that up. What does that mean to you?
So starting when I was young, it was an escape, honestly. Just being able to, this world's crazy. It's always been crazy. So being able to escape into comics that were based off real time, things that were happening in that back in the day, and even now all the movies revolve around, plagues and things like that, and sicknesses and just like racial things that that are going on in the world, and it's kind of cool. Stan Lee, that was one of the things that he stuck to, being able to relate comics to what's going on in the world right now. And for me, it was just a way to escape the real world and still deal with real world problems, but in a comic, and being able to relate to a hero. So
like you saw advice through some of the comics, right?
Exactly.
I know Stan did like Spider-Man's a prime example.
Yeah.
So I think the main reason Spider-Man was so popular is that so many people related to him.
Yeah. Being a teenager.
Exactly. Just dealing with everyday problems, not a grand scale like Avenger problems or something like that.
Yeah.
For me, it was pretty much the same thing. It was a place to get away. You know what I mean? It's like escape your troubles for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just dive into this world where the impossible is possible. You know what I mean? And it's just like you got to see cool stuff. You got to see a guy flying in an iron suit, and a guy shooting webs out of his hand. See a god wielding a hammer with lightning and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just and like you said, it was a way to to see my problems reflected in in someone else, or just to see how they handled it. Kind of advice for myself in a way to get me through it. Yeah. And just for fun too, you know what I mean? It's just, you gotta have hobbies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed.
So
as you can see.
Exactly, we're full force over here. I think it's the same way for a lot of people. I think that's the main reason why, it's doing so well. That's why we're also doing this podcast. We want to bring light to this, small little production company called Marvel Studios.
Yeah, exactly.
They need our help, man.
I think they're doing okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
It'll be all right.
A little more word don't want to help. You know what I mean? But MCU dude is doing phenomenal right now. I think they're fucking taking over the world right now.
Yeah, thank God for having Kevin, man. Kevin,
dude, Feige, we trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Seriously, man. I'm looking forward to I love what they've done so far, and I'm really looking forward to what's up up ahead.
Yeah, same here.
So what else are we talking about?
Just a little bit of what we're going to talk about on the on this episode. We're just going to talk about Iron Man 1, where it all started, the OG MCU movie that came out. Yeah. My personal favorite superhero first. Then I'll talk into why I love Captain America after. MCU timeline. We'll talk about past, present, future, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Then we'll kind of just have some fun, talk about some stuff and how it could all connect based on talking about the timeline. And then after that, that'll be it. We'll wrap it up from there.
Yes, nice. All right, let's dive in. So Iron Man 1, let us know a bit about the movie. Spit out some facts for me.
So Jon Favreau, the director.
Excellent director.
Him and Robert Downey Jr. have a great relationship. That's part of the reason why Robert Downey Jr. was in Iron Man.
Where did that stem from? Do you know?
I don't. I just know that they've
been in the industry.
In the industry for years. They've been friends for a while. And then I know John already had been working on things with Star Wars, with the Clone Wars, the cartoon.
Yes, yeah.
So he had a couple of different things he had directed already. Some of the other things he's known for is like Chef, and then
great movie.
Yeah, and so different movies that he's made with Robert Downey Jr. Post and pre Iron Man. Mm-hmm. So they've always had that relationship. So it was kind of a no brainer. They said, and then Kevin kind of put it all together. With pulling Iron Man together. But honestly, it was if John didn't do as successful as he did, we probably wouldn't have a whole MCU. Like
or it wouldn't have went the direction it did. It may still be out, but it definitely wouldn't have followed the direction it did.
Yeah,
for sure. Is this his? This isn't his directorial debut, is it?
No. I don't believe so.
But he definitely started getting heavier into directing after this.
Correct. Yeah. I know he's like assisted in other things before, but this is one of the first big success hits that he had.
Sure, absolutely.
And it's kind of cool because it seemed like Kevin gave him the free reins to kind of just go in there and
they did, yeah.
And I know they have some like recently released, maybe over the last year or two, of some end credit scenes that were removed, where they alluded to like the mutants and Spider-Man.
Really? Okay.
So it's Nick Fury at the end, and at the end of Iron Man, he says, "You're just part of a bigger world. You just don't know it yet."
Yes.
Some of the outtakes where he talked about, he's like radioactive spiders, and he alluded to Fantastic Four.
So he Easter egged.
Yeah, but none of that ever got released because obviously copyrights and Fox owning certain rights to certain movies.
Owning Spider-Man at the time, all that good stuff. Yeah.
But it seemed like that was Kevin's plan from day one to make sure John was going to start it, and if it took off, he was going to keep running with it. Mm-hmm. So that's why Iron Man 1, it was such a great movie. Honestly, such a great movie.
Hands down.
Robert Downey Jr. was the perfect person for this.
Nobody better.
I don't think anyone could ever pulled it off. Like,
I know a lot of people were talks about him. It was between him and Tom Cruise. I don't see Tom Cruise doing it, dude.
Me neither.
Me neither. Plus, he's too short. Come on, dude. You can't have Iron Man 5'11". You know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
Hey,
no,
I mean,
he's not even 5'11". He's like 5'8" or something.
Yeah,
like that.
My height, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, could you see yourself in an Iron Man suit? I mean, come on.
I mean, I'd love to see myself.
You'd want to, but I mean, come on now. But yeah, I'm so happy that they went with Robert Downey. I think he embodies Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Yeah, and he's actually one of the reasons Chris Evans stayed actually took the position as Captain America. He was going to turn it down.
He was hesitant. He did turn it down. Yeah. They were on him about being Cap. And it's funny because I remember Chris Evans saying, he goes, I was afraid of what the role meant, of how fans would take it. And literally the things he's saying, they're like, you are literally saying the stuff Steve Rogers would be saying. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you are Steve Rogers, Captain America.
The role, yeah.
Correct,
he can play the role, correct.
Yes.
In
the character.
Yeah, but in real life, he's a total goofball.
He is.
He's a total goofball.
He is, dude.
Yeah, he loves to, he's the big prankster. So, there's, this weird cut.
Right.
Have you seen the cut scene where people are talking, oh, who's the prankster? Who's the one playing all the pranks? And they asked everybody, and they all said Chris Evans. And Chris Evans is like, oh, I don't really think there is one. Because he's the one.
Because, he doesn't see it, yeah.
But yeah, Iron Man 1, man. Just arc reactor. This is from the second movie when he gets it taken out?
That's the first one.
Is it the first one?
Iron Man 1.
Oh, yeah. That's the one from the cave.
He took the cave out, yeah.
Oh, man. This is the OG arc reactor.
The first Mark 1 arc reactor. Yeah.
Proof that he has a heart.
Boom.
Love you 3000.
Yeah. I have a question for you. How do you think the MCU would have went had they started with another superhero? Be it Captain America first, Thor first. How do you think that would have went?
All right. So my opinion, what really, really helped drive this were a lot of parts. So it was obviously the director, John, RDJ playing Iron Man. You needed somebody that you can relate to on the sarcastic part and, playing
flaws.
Huh?
Has flaws.
Has flaws, right? He was a heavy drinker in the first movie, and then he changed his life, and he almost died. That might change anyone's life. But really, the character of that RDJ portrayed as Iron Man, like him embodying it as much as he did, was where the biggest success came from. Because I don't know, R.I.P. Chadwick, I don't know if he'd be able to carry it from the very beginning either. I don't know if
I don't think Black Panther as a superhero could have.
Right.
I don't think his role is that grand as.
Not in the beginning. Not to start at all. No. Correct.
Now maybe so.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as you're talking about your core superheroes, your top Avengers, your Caps, Thor.
Yeah, I don't see, definitely not Thor, and especially the way he was portrayed in the first two movies. Taika Waititi did the second two movies, and those I love him.
Issues with the first Thor, and it's mainly aesthetics. Like, why is every hair on his head blonde? His eyebrows, his beard, he looks weird. Yeah. Dude. He looks borderline albino.
Yeah, he looks fake. It doesn't look real. Yeah, no, I agree. No, I honestly don't think another hero in Marvel
started it off.
Nah, I mean maybe Cap.
I think maybe that's the only other superhero I see starting off Marvel, and then the MCU.
But what it came off as, because of that timeline of him missing for 70 years, like you tell this great story and then he jumps and disappears. They were able to
see. I think the ending would have had to have changed. I don't think they could have done that. I think they could have shown him going in the ice and then maybe them finding the arc reactor. But I don't think
the arc reactor. Oh, Tesseract.
The Tesseract. Sorry, misspoke. So I think they could have done that. I think maybe the cutscene could have been a glimpse of the shield, and then of course the big Captain America will return.
True. Okay.
I think they could have went that route. They definitely could have aired the actual first Avenger in its entirety the way it was, because they had already had Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, all those out already. I don't think they could have just flat out put that same movie out. I think they would have had to tweak a few things, but I feel like I don't think it would have been as big,
right,
as detrimental to in the MCU, but I think he could have started it off.
Right.
And then I think it would have got bigger once Iron Man was introduced. Incredible Hulk, Thor, all that good stuff.
No, I get you. I get it. I agree. As a story, he could have, but there was a lot of other things in the play too. So like Marvel almost went bankrupt. They almost sold off their company. So Stan Lee sold off most of his company. Yeah. So Blade, the first trilogy of Blade, is what really saved Marvel. So Stan Lee,
really?
Yeah. So Wesley Snipes.
Wait, Blade was affiliated with Marvel?
It still always was. Yeah. It said Marvel, but and then
it wasn't a Marvel Studios.
It wasn't Marvel Studios. Correct. No, it was I think on Universal Studios, if I'm not mistaken. Or I'm not sure. Something like that. Yeah. But Marvel almost didn't exist if it wasn't for Blade doing so successful. Then after that, the first big Marvel property ever done.
That kind of kept the bait on the hook, right? Of like, hey, listen, this is still an avenue people are gonna like and want to be interested in.
But because of how successful Iron Man did, that's why I don't think personally that the character of it would have just been another superhero movie. That's what I felt like Captain America would have been. Yeah. Everyone would have been like, and then everything would have thrown up. I mean, not to throw shade, but like, look at how the DCEU worked. They did it backwards, and
they're crumbling right now.
So that's why I think Iron Man was so pivotal, and it made so much sense for him to be the center of the whole universe. And then the whole snap at the end. Yeah. It all worked because he's the only character that had the ego to carry it all, the technology and the money to carry it all. So if say Captain America was a total flop, Iron Man wasn't gonna be. Never gonna be. There's no way you can make an Iron Man movie in this day and age with all the technology and it be a flop. Who's not gonna like Jarvis? Who's not gonna like the bots and all this craziness?
I think that's why too it has such success, because I think they wanted to start off. Well, I think a good reason to start off of Iron Man 2 was they wanted to jump on the CGI aspect of it. So because I remember Favreau was saying that Transformers was doing really well, and he knew that they had the technology to do Iron Man because of Transformers.
True.
So I think that had a lot to do with its success.
Yeah.
And then everybody just likes the Iron Man suit just bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, the hot rod red and the gold like that. Hot rod red. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Hence the mic.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
right, so that's where it all started off. Iron Man 1. I'm sure everybody's seen it, so I doubt we spoiled anything.
I hope not. Spoilers.
Sorry. Whoops. So yeah,
came out in 2008. So
yeah, exactly.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. So who is? Well, you touched on it a little bit, but your favorite superhero?
So I have two. Iron Man, without a doubt, just the personality.
So, well, I gotta go. Your top superhero.
Iron Man.
Really?
Iron Man, without a doubt.
Okay.
He just the sarcasticness, the goofiness.
You can relate.
Yeah, that's just who I am to my core. Yes. Just dropping and it's all truth. Like none of it's like. Sometimes I throw shade. Sometimes I'm playing around. But for the most part, if I'm not joking around with you or being goofy with you, it's because I really don't care for you. So that's the truth. You know? And the same thing with Iron Man. You know? He will call you out right on the spot. And he'll do it publicly. He'll do it privately. He'll do it expensively. He'll do it any which way you can think of. Yeah. He just didn't care. So he was just like a one-man wrecking crew through the world. And just all the baloney that he deal with, like his dad, you know. He thought his dad didn't love him, but he did, and just so much, and Iron Man's always. It's just nice to see him become the hero, he didn't come from nothing, but build his superhero-ness, to be that smart to create a suit, and he was the MCU, or he's the Marvel Comics version of I guess Batman, but with way more personality, without a doubt, way more personality.
Yes. I would say Batman is the dark version of Iron Man.
Yeah, very dark
seedy,
version.
Very underbelly type of character, like version.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just DC.
True, very dark, very dark.
What's the darkest we can go with somebody?
Yeah,
like, all right,
Bruce Wayne.
Exactly. All right.
And what's your favorite?
Mine, I gotta go Iron Man too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to hop on the bandwagon, but I liked it. Maybe not for the same reasons as you did. Like you like Tony. I feel like you like Tony Stark more than Iron Man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where you're at.
Agreed.
I like the suit. I just think the suit is the most badass thing in comics. Like, yeah, you got your god things like Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, all that good stuff. You got Guardians of the Galaxy, all their gadgets and all that.
Yeah.
Nobody got something like the Iron Man suit.
Nope.
With the exception of Rhodey, but that's.
I mean, he literally stole the suit. In the movie, stole the suit. In the comics,
he didn't steal.
He whooped his ass and then
gave
took
him
it.
Literally a password to get in there.
He did, but then he got his ass handed to him on his birthday.
Here's my thing with that. It's like, I feel like Tony Stark was eventually going to give Rhodey a suit.
Yeah.
Rhodey's just like, take it now. You know what I mean? Like, and let me get it right now. You know what I mean? Like, the government's on your ass. Just let me get this and shut them up. I do have a question for you. So, in regards to the MCU, because one big pet peeve of mine is when people complain about movies saying that they're not like the comics or they're not the cartoon. It's like, it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot put everything that's in the comics. Just like with books, you can't put Harry Potter. Yeah. You cannot put those books are massive.
Yeah.
The movie would be 6 hours long. You cannot put everything that's in a book or in a comic in a movie.
Agreed.
Whether it be budget wise, whether it be story wise.
Yeah.
How do you like the correlation between Marvel comics and the MCU? How do you like the way that they're doing that?
All right. So again, not to throw shade, but the DCEU are generally based off of the 52 comics, where the newer comics that have came out, the newest genre of all the DC comics. So that's why most of the
thank you, Jarvis.
That's why most of the movies aren't well received, because a lot of people of our age haven't read the 52 comics unless you're a total nerd. Okay. So all of the storylines in DC are all based off of 52 comics. Most people don't know those. So with Marvel, they'll take multiple comics, pull them together, and then create the new movies that we get to see right now. Okay. And they tied it into the multiverse saga, being able to talk about how all of that works.
They can get closer to the comics in some universes, right?
Right. And I think that's the direction that they're going with King Dynasty and Secret Wars. Okay. Secret Wars is, like alluded to in Multiverse of Madness, an incursion. So Secret Wars happens when two different worlds unite, and that's how we get Miles Morales into the 616. Which,
and they've touched on a bit of that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness already.
Right. Right. So there's, what was the universe that they were in? Where the
828.
828. Right. So 828 had an incursion. They prevented an incursion because of Reed Richards.
Yes.
But the Doctor Strange of that universe died.
Had to sacrifice himself.
Well, no, yeah.
They killed him.
They killed him. Black Bolt. Yeah. Oh, Black Bolt. That's crazy how.
Dude, the way Scar. Okay, I'm sorry. We gotta pause here. I want to touch on Doctor Strange vs. Madness for that one scene. I'm sorry, but you call yourself the Illuminati and get taken out by a one woman.
I mean, she's a one woman wrecking crew.
She is, but you're the Illuminati.
Yeah, and she almost killed Thanos by herself.
She didn't even break a sweat.
I mean,
I'm sure she didn't. And she not only handed the Illuminati their ass.
Yeah.
She took out the Ultron at the same time.
Ultron bots, yeah.
My guy. Yeah. You're supposed to be the elite of the elite. The one who almost had her was Professor X, Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
He was seconds away. Literally had Wanda's hand.
Yeah.
Like had it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's a badass. Kevin said she's the strongest person in the MCU right now.
Not arguing that. But I feel like they could have put up a harder fight, in my opinion. Now, I guarantee you there's people out there who feel like it was a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, because it was excellent. I loved it. I just felt like if the way that they gassed up the Illuminati and the weight that has to it, felt like you could have just went a little bit harder.
Okay, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
So, do you know where that whole fight scene came from?
I do not.
So there was an original fight scene in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
There was a choreographed scene with all of the stunt doubles of Wanda taking over the mind of a sorcerer and fighting all of the other sorcerers in Kamar-Taj.
Okay.
So when she's attacking.
Okay.
And it's the choreography is very similar to the fight scene with Illuminati. So they just plugged and pulled that idea, and then they made it into the Illuminati scene.
Okay.
So she originally decapitates a head. Well, you heard about Mortal, right? He was supposed to get his head chopped off in the very beginning.
I didn't.
Yeah. So when she came to Kamar-Taj, she was supposed to drop Mortal's head on the doorsteps of Kamar-Taj.
Oh, so they had a whole different arrangement.
Yeah, it was way darker than what it was right now, than what we've seen.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was supposed to. She already had murdered him because he was on that quest to too many sorcerers.
Oh yes, we're talking about 616.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm while you're talking, I'm thinking 828.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
You're talking Mortal of 626.
Correct.
Okay.
Because
616.
616.
Sorry.
They haven't. They released those footage, or they said that story, but they haven't said if he is or isn't dead. So I don't know if that's technically canon.
Because we never seen him in 616.
No. Not since the end of Strange 2. I mean Strange 1.
Right. Which I thought I thought he was gonna play a key role in
originally.
I thought he was actually going to be the villain in.
That's what the main part was originally, but I think when Sam Raimi took over, that all changed because they really wanted to do that.
What I think the main change was COVID, because COVID, literally, they were about to start production on Multiverse of Madness, and then COVID hit and halted everything and pushed everything back. And I watched the special features on that, and they said that was kind of a blessing, because they kind of said that the script felt a little rushed. So they said that doing that, or COVID happening, production halting, actually helped them go back and revamp and redo the script of Multiverse of Madness. And that's the script that we have now.
See, that I didn't know. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I mean, COVID was like a blessing in disguise when it came to a lot of these Marvel shows. Because they were able to do what you just said, go back and reshoot and re-edit.
Yeah, I feel like pre-COVID they kind of just want to keep pushing out stuff.
Yeah,
they just want to.
I think that's why, as much as I give it like a 7 out of 10, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As much as I liked it, I think that's why it wasn't a 9 or a 10 as a show, because they changed the base of that show based off of. It was supposed to be a plague, almost like a COVID type idea that happened throughout the world. Okay. So that was the initial, part of. It was a big part of what was happening in the world. Yeah. Was like this disease that broke out, and then COVID hit, and they're like, we can't release this
too soon.
Too soon, exactly, too soon. Or they're gonna be like, "What is Disney up to? Did they know this was gonna happen?" You know?
Yeah, they're gonna start bleeding into like Simpsons territory. With
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they acquired Simpsons, so now they'll know what's gonna happen.
All right. All right. So we can close the chapter on Iron Man. I want to get your rating of Iron Man. So we do Infinity Stones here as our 5 stars, thumbs up, thumbs down kind of deal. So out of 6 stones, what do you give Iron Man 1?
I'm biased. 1, it's my favorite hero.
Okay.
It's the OG movie.
Yes.
Well, actually, Incredible Hulk's the OG movie, but
yes,
we won't go there.
If we want to pick at straws, yes. If we want to really dive in, yeah.
But we'll just forget about the one with Bruce Banner, because that wasn't the one that we really liked so much. But
with Eric Bana?
Or Eric Bana, my bad. Eric Bana, yeah. Same thing.
You combined his character name with his actual name. That is hilarious.
In a multiverse, that's his real name. All right, one of the multiverses is its real name. But no, 10, all six stones without a doubt. Absolutely. With the gauntlet, like honestly, with the gauntlet, just gauntlet what it means to us as a nerd, what it meant to the MCU, how much money it's made for everybody, like it's all the merch we have here. You know, like come on, like it's easily 6 stones with the gauntlet all together.
And taking aside the comic book fan in us, it's just a great movie.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. It was a solid movie.
If you know nothing about the comics, it still was entertaining.
Yeah, you could literally not know what a comic book is. Go in, watch Iron Man, and be like, that was a good movie.
Right. Exactly.
Who's Iron Man?
Robert Downey Jr.
No, I meant like, who is Iron Man? Is there any literature on him? Like, that's how you're coming out of the movie. You know what I mean? You're like, you want to... I honestly feel like that would get people in the comics.
Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of people jumped on the... Yeah, easily. A bunch of people jumped on the bandwagon.
There are a bunch of comic book fans that are only in comic books because of the MCU.
Agreed. Yeah.
They're solely MCU fans. They're not even comic book fans. They're just, I like what MCU's doing. Yeah. I want to stay with them.
Our kids. Yeah.
Case in point.
Easily. Yes. Because if we were trying to like grab a book and be like, hey, read this, a big book with all these pictures. They're like, psych, I'm going to go play Fortnite.
Exactly.
But now that they can visually see it on the screen, watch a movie, now they're like, oh, so all of that is inside that book? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe I want to read it now.
Even Fortnite had jumped on the bandwagon. Oh, like, had that Marvel season.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Marvel's everywhere. Yeah. All right, so yeah.
Some might say Marvel's inevitable.
Huh? It is. Very good. Very good. So Iron Man 6 Infinity Stones.
Easily. Yeah, what's your rating?
Hands down, agree.
Yeah.
100%. 1000%.
Gotta agree.
Yep. All right, man. So that was Iron Man review.
Next topic is the MCU timeline.
Yes. Okay, so we started off Iron Man 1, kicked off what we know as the MCU.
Right. Correct.
So let's talk about a little bit about what else accompanied Iron Man 1 and the direction that they were in the beginning of their lives, or of the MCU as a whole.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first movies, leading up to the first Avengers.
Can we pull up the order in which the movies came out real quick?
Yeah.
Just so we can talk a little bit about that.
But I'll talk while I'm looking this up.
Yeah.
So the first saga, I guess, right, was leading up to the first Avengers movie. None of us really knew what the heck was really going to happen. Where the big bad was going to come. I was trying to figure out who the Avengers going to fight. Like, I thought it was a cop out at first that Loki was the bad guy, but he wasn't the guy. He was just a puppet. You know what I mean? That's where Thanos first was introduced.
Yeah, he was a tool. Yeah,
exactly.
In both meanings of the word. But you know what? Because when the first, well, no, I think Captain touched on it. Because I was gonna say, well, at least when Iron Man came out, we definitely didn't know that we were in the Infinity Saga.
Right.
For sure.
Correct.
They kind of started establishing it with Captain America.
With the Tesseract.
With Thor, right? Which is
but we didn't know the Tesseract because traditionally, traditionally it's just a space cosmic stone that didn't house the.
It did not.
It did not.
Okay.
No, not in the comics.
Okay.
So it was a total different entity.
Fair enough.
And then the ether in the Dark World in Thor 2 was also a liquid form of the reality
stone.
Right. How, which is something I would like to theorize one day. How the hell did they make that into a stone? How did they take this liquid sludge and then turn it into a stone?
And our dumbasses, we just hopped on board.
Yeah, like, okay,
all right.
Cool.
See it.
Cool story, bro.
Got it. Nobody ever questioned that. Not once. We're just like, I want to see it.
Oh, dang. This is the timeline of how it's supposed to be, but not how it was released. You want the release one?
The release order, yeah.
The release order,
yes.
MCU release order.
So real quick, while he's looking that up, guys, if we want you guys involved. So any comments, any topics you guys want us to talk about, any questions you guys have, we will do our best to answer them. We are not Feige, so we do not know the actual facts. We can give you our opinion and our theories on it. But yeah, guys, comment. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Help support us. But yeah, anything you guys want to talk about, any comments, concerns, questions you guys have, light up the page, light up the Instagram.
Leave comments, all those, questions, all that. Share some love.
All right.
So the first one was Iron Man, like we talked about.
Correct.
Then it was the Incredible Hulk. That's the one with Edward Norton. Then immediately was Iron Man 2. Well, not immediately, but 2 years later was Iron Man 2. And then Thor, Captain America, and then the Avengers.
And this is phase 1.
Phase 1, correct.
Okay.
Yep. So leading up into the Avengers, I really didn't know who the big bad was. In the beginning of Thor, Odin alludes to like the 6 singularities, the Infinity Stones, and that's when he talks about the ether.
Right.
That was the first time we ever heard about that. And then in
the Easter egg, if you will.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What movie was it? I think it was the first
that
Thor.
Thanos was established?
No, well, the first time we saw the Infinity Gauntlet was in Thor 1. And
at the
Loki.
End.
Was it at the end?
Are you sure Thor 1?
I think it's Thor 1. So he's walking through Odin's vault, and he's going to get the frost thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's Avengers Ultron. When he says, fine, I'll do it myself. Yeah. That's Ultron.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end of it.
That is not the first time we see that.
So we see a fake gauntlet.
Correct.
What we find out in the third movie is a fake gauntlet. But in the first Thor movie, they're walking through Odin's vault, and I think Loki is going to get the it's like a frost thing, and it turns everything into ice.
Yes.
He's going to get that, and as he walks through the chamber, there's a gauntlet, which we don't know it's fake.
Right.
And then in Thor
if you
3,
caught it. Period.
Yeah. I caught that immediately.
Of course you did. Yeah.
But so in the third Thor, Hela walks through and she's like, "Oh, fake," and then she knocks over the gauntlet.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
That was the first gauntlet that we've seen, and I think there might be footage on Kevin saying that like he didn't know where the direction was going to go with the Infinity Gauntlet. That's why they did that in Thor 3, because there was already a gauntlet existing with all the stones on it already. So they're like, oh well, if we're gonna have this guy, these people going through the whole universe looking for these Infinity Stones,
it can't just be in one location.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So
it's boring.
Exactly.
Like, oh, here it is.
Exactly.
Could you
yeah.
imagine?
Yeah. And then we all get wrecked, and end of the movies. No more movies after that.
That's the end of the MCU.
Yeah. Right.
You know it. Just, all right.
Easy peasy. Yeah. But yeah, so like I didn't really know that. Some people, when they first showed him, Thanos had like a red tint on his face, but it was like a horrible.
Thanos looked bonkers in what movie was it where he turned?
Yeah,
and we just see his chin.
So the leader of the Chitauri, he's like to the Avengers.
Challenge them is to court death.
Court death,
yeah.
Right?
What movie was that?
Avengers 1, the very first one, at the end. So after defeating,
You're right.
Loki got defeated, and then Iron Man let the nuke go into his other ship.
The portal, the wormhole.
Yeah, through the wormhole into his Thanos' ships and killed all of the Chitauri.
Did you know who was Thanos in that scene?
No.
Stunt double.
Well, yeah, it wasn't Josh Brolin.
It was a
obviously.
stunt guy. Yeah, it was a stunt guy.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He also did someone else. I'm blanking on it. I forget who it was. Not significant, but
right.
He was also. I guess he was like the stand-in guy.
Yeah.
It's like we need someone, and I guess his build or his structure best suited
right.
the little template for it.
Yeah, I think it was all prosthetics. I don't think it was a CGI scene.
No, I think it was CGI.
Was it?
It looked CGI.
Okay.
Possibly.
Like well, maybe that makes sense why the tip was off.
Yeah.
Because I know some people, when I was in the theater, I was downtown in Chicago, 600 North Michigan, AMC, and I went for the midnight showing.
Good theater.
I know. Reclining seats, best one. My favorite place. Yeah, favorite place to go to see midnight showings or premieres.
We're going to be shooting on location there.
From time to time. Yeah,
from time to time. When
especially for Black Panther. Look for that video.
Yes.
But this guy was like, "Oh, it's Red Sage." I was like, I don't know, like Red Sage. He's a known like Marvel villain, but not that known. I'm like, why would they make him a big bad? I'm like, he almost looks like that the helmet. And I was like, it almost looks like Thanos. And then sure enough, when I googled it, it said Thanos. I'm like, oh, dope! I knew it.
He went through like a few shades of purple before they actually.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Before Infinity War, went through a few shades.
You can see it in the Funko Pops.
I don't think that's accurate, like dead on accurate for Thanos.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty close.
I don't think they're holding up makeup to Brolin and be like, which Funko Pop should it be? But yeah. So where were we going with this? The timeline. We're just talking about the past. So I think that pretty much covers the past.
Yeah, first phase at least.
First phase at least. Yeah. So let's fast forward a little bit more to the present.
Okay.
So what do we got going on right now in MCU?
Well, it's a hot mess. First off, it's a hot mess. First couple shows that came out in movies were just like, honestly, all the shows. It was all shows because of COVID, right? So no movies came out. They delayed Black Panther because of the passing of
Shang-Chi. I think it was no. I'm lying to you. Black Widow was their introduction back into movies.
Correct, and it wasn't even in the movies first. Well, no, it was, but it came out on Disney Plus. You can get the special
scandal.
Oof. Poor Scarlett.
I know. She got paid.
No, yeah, I mean, I know she did, but still, they did her bogus.
They really did.
But Kevin talked about the first phase of.
To be fair, that wasn't Marvel that did her bogus. It was Disney.
Disney, yes.
Disney, shame on you, Disney.
Yes. We gotta choose our words wisely.
Yes, we love you, Disney. You misstepped. That's all it was.
It happens. No one's perfect.
We all make movies. That's all
right. Where was I going with this? Okay, so it was all grief. WandaVision, Loki, Hawkeye.
Well, I mean, think about where they left off.
Yeah.
Iron Man died.
Exactly.
Spoiler alert. Iron Man. That's probably the biggest hit. No, Iron Man and Black Widow.
Yeah.
Same movie. We didn't even have time to grieve Black Widow before Tony died.
Yeah.
My heart really hurt that day.
Who you telling?
We're balling
after Infinity War. After Infinity War, when half the world was gone, I was like, they lost? It's over? What's going on?
Time out. All right, so here's my thing on that. I saw that. I'm like, all right, because I knew they're coming back. You got to know that, it was a shock that many left or that many got snapped away. But I wasn't, like, sad about it. I'm like, interesting. Kind of sucks.
I don't know.
But I know they're coming back.
When they were on Titan and...
Black Panther was greenlit for Black Panther 2 before Infinity War.
Oh, well, we knew that. I get it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, people were like, oh, what the... I remember there was people behind me like, oh, how are you going to kill off a black guy? I'm like, oh, God, really? I'm like, dude, he got greenlit for Black Panther 2. What are you talking about? Anyway. Goodness. But yeah, so I mean... What did you feel about that once they all got snapped away? Did you dwell on it?
Yeah. Well, what hurt the most was when Peter was dying. And he's like, I don't want to go.
Just pouring down.
Yeah, dude. I was just wrecked. I was wrecked. I was crying. I remember I was so pissed because I didn't get the tickets to go see it. The premiere downtown.
Thursday night.
Right. Well, no, I did. But I couldn't find it downtown. It was all sold out already. So, I mean, I've seen Infinity War like 6 times, but in the movie theaters. But the first initial night, I was in Fort City, and I went with my daughter and then my best friend Vic, and we were there. And Vic laughed at me because he was like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "Dude, Peter just died."
He's very like, "Oh, this is a movie," about stuff, though, so we'll forgive him on that.
But but I'm emotionally invested into this. You know what I mean? I was totally emotionally invested into it.
We're doing a podcast, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure,
So yeah, it hit me hard just to see like, this is the first time. I guess usually the hero always came out on top, and I got used to that in the MCU. Cause like, okay,
they're very pro hero. Yes,
exactly. That's
DC. DC, it's a coin flip whether the bad guy's gonna win or the good guy.
Exactly. And that's part of the problem with the MCU is like a lot of people don't take any of the villains so serious because they always lose.
What if changed that?
Oh my God.
What if like, hey, you know what? Villains are gonna have their day now.
Seriously. That Ultron bot and for him to take over, get all
with it, dude.
The way he did Thanos, just interesting, and just cuts him in half.
Dude, they brought Thanos down so bad. They brought him to like minuscule, like dude.
But I think that was foreshadowing for the future and how bad of a Kang's gonna be. Absolutely. Galactus when he comes, Doctor Doom, like all these major villains.
Dude, that's probably one of the villains I'm most looking forward to seeing.
Who? Dr. Doom?
Dr. Doom.
Oh yeah.
Because we've seen Dr. Doom in Fantastic Four, but that wasn't really Marvel. It was Sony?
No. It was Marvel, but
No, the production company wise.
Right. Sony,
right? Right. So we've seen a Doctor Doom.
No, I lied. It wasn't Sony. It was Fox.
Fox, yes.
Yeah. Sony's Spider-Man.
Sony's Spider-Man, right. So we've seen a Doctor Doom. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Feige does with Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bad, dude.
Agreed.
Because Doctor Doom is potentially one of the biggest villains in the MCU. Hands down. One of the top.
I think we'll get something alluded to him in She-Hulk. Because of the intelligentsia.
You think so?
Oh yeah. That's another episode.
yeah. That's preluding to New World Order, right? Captain America. Shout out Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. So and one of the main villains is the leader, and the leader is the guy from Incredible Hulk.
Correct. When they had the blood spilled on us.
Correct. So he's the leader of the intelligentsia, and Dr. Doom.
I was really wondering what they were going to do with that guy.
Oh yeah.
On that movie.
I thought they just forgot about him.
Because it kind of, they gave him a shine, like they shined the light on him, and we just never heard from him.
Well, it's because Universal realized how expensive it was. CGI was back then.
Fair enough.
Now it's expensive, but they can afford it.
They put all their money on Hulk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
okay.
They gave Blonsky a chance to come back, and now he's being
that
Abomination.
Cool.
I love that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's an interesting character now. Total fucking 180 from what he was before.
Dude, okay, pause on that. I really like their explanation of Blonsky. When he was like, I thought I was the good guy. I'm like, whoa.
You believe that?
Hold on.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, dude, think about it. You're working for the government. The government says he didn't know what
the side effects were going to be, and he was going to
power
hungry.
He didn't know what's the guy's name? The one who was after Hulk. What's
General Ross. Yeah.
He didn't know what General Ross's agenda was.
Yeah.
He was a soldier. That was his commander. He said he's following orders. Yeah. His orders were, we got this rogue creature, for lack of a better word, on the loose. We need you to protect your country and stop him. Yeah. When he said that, dude, literally made me see the Incredible Hulk in a whole new light.
Think so?
Absolutely. How can you not? Think about that. Next time, go back and watch Incredible Hulk. Mm-hmm. Think about Blonsky's view on it. Yeah, the way Blonsky was portrayed in that, he looked like a bad guy. Because they needed, what's his name? The Bad Hulk. What is his name? Abomination.
Abomination, right.
They need Abomination to be the bad guy.
Yeah. So
they portrayed Blonsky as the bad guy. Because we're on Hulk's side during the whole movie.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? But flip it. Watch it again. Guys, watch it again. Look at Blonsky's view.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're going to look at that movie in a new light.
I get where you're going with it.
Okay.
This is why I don't agree with it.
Okay.
So, the Super Soldier Serum, the first person to have the real one was Red Skull. Red Skull had it. So,
and deformed him because it
wasn't perfected. Right. Exactly.
Evil.
That's where I was going with that. So, it's bad at heart. So, that was what's wrong with why Red Skull turned into that.
That's how it affected him.
Correct. And then Steve took it. And he became Pure Captain America. Pure of heart. Just like, draw a line in the sand and like, this is the end of the line. This is where I go.
Right or wrong, no in between.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very binary, very black and white. Blonsky took it. It enhanced also his personality. So, could he have changed now and see a different light? Yeah. I think
everybody can redeem themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is more of a redemption in She-Hulk than it is him following orders because he wanted to get stronger. He wanted to not be human and basically Hulk out.
Good point. Yeah.
So that's why I think did he have a change of heart? Yeah, 1,000%. I think that's what's happened. Did he play his words correctly so that he can get off? I think so.
Hands down, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to tell the parole board what they want to hear. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any criminal can tell you that.
But Blonsky said that there's no perfect candidate for it. There's no perfect soldier. It just amplifies what that person has inside of them.
Correct.
So that's why Captain America.
That's why I have issue with that perfect soldier term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think what happened in Hulk, I think it was true, and he was an evil, bad person, power hungry. He got a taste of that power.
Very true.
He was old, and he's like, man, if I had the knowledge and skills that I had now, and the body I had back in the day, I'd be unstoppable. Mm-hmm. So that power that he got made him power hungry, and that's why he became the Abomination. Okay. So I think
good points, and I think that's the direction that the MCU took him. Yeah. And I'm 100% on board for that. My point is that if you think about what Blonsky said and then take that into account, you can view the Incredible Hulk differently. Yeah. Or you can't, maybe not view it differently, but you can see that side very clearly. Yeah. You can see it.
For being a well-decorated, what would you call him, officer, I guess, or soldier? Yeah, a well-decorated soldier. Mm-hmm. He knows right and wrong. I'm sure he's done some shady things before he got that. Yes. You know, and
yeah. That's, I mean, you don't become Abomination by doing everything by the book. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. So he openly and he willingly took the assignment.
I mean, he jumped at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why? Because of his real nature was originally. Very true. Oh, that's just what I think. Right. Ding ding.
Yes. All right. So right now we got She-Hulk. If you guys are not watching that, highly recommend She-Hulk.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what is the actress's name? Tatiana.
Yeah. Tatiana Maslany. Yeah.
Yes. I think she's fantastic as She-Hulk. I think they casting at Marvel is on a whole nother level because they hit it on the head every single time.
Absolutely.
I have yet, with the exception of Terrence Howard, I don't think they.
But it was fixed. It was fixed.
I don't think that they've casted. I don't think that they casted wrong since him. Honestly, I take that back. Let me not take anything away from Terrence Howard because I think he played that role fine. Yeah. I don't think he was a bad roadie. Seeing Don Cheadle, right? You should have went with him first. Is all my point is. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a great show so far. Does it have its slow episodes? Yeah, every series does.
Episode 6 in particular.
You can't. And dude, I hate that they're only like 26 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, what the heck? We're streaming. You don't need ads. Yeah. So what's your excuse? You know what I mean? Anywho, but that's just me. I think they're doing really good with the show so far. A lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of backlash on it though, but I think a lot of people they see She-Hulk and they just think action-packed because Hulk. Right. It's a law show. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's literally She-Hulk, attorney at law. Yeah. It's a law show.
And she has the ability to break the fourth wall.
I love it.
So she's one of the first, besides Deadpool, she's the only other famous person to be able to. Yeah. And they'll have
banter back up, so they could potentially both break the fourth wall at the same time.
Absolutely, they do it all. They've done it a few times in the comics, so I know it's happened before. I mean, it would be such a loss of money if Marvel didn't do that in the future. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Easily, and now that Ryan Reynolds is so comic and making his own commercials, and we saw the release for Deadpool 3. We saw the
spoiler alert if you guys haven't. Which if you haven't,
it's not a spoiler.
It's in a coma.
True, right?
You live under a rock. Yesterday. Spoiler alert. Hugh Jackman will be returning as the iconic Wolverine in Deadpool 3.
It'd be nice to see if they deem the old yellow suit.
I want to see the brown and yellow.
Oh, nice. Or it could be X-Force.
I saw a poll online. They said brown and yellow or the what was it? The blue and yellow?
The blue and yellow.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said they had those two. I clicked brown and yellow. Really? Because that's the OG suit, isn't it?
Brown and yellow, yeah.
Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well,
I see that.
I don't know if you saw when he was taking a dump, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. What suit he had on? It was the gray one. It was the X-Force one.
Yes.
So
also when he's typing.
Yeah. So it was. He's on the X-Force too.
Wolverine.
Yeah. So he has a gray and black suit.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's the same. It's this.
Oh, I think I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes berserker mode often in that comic.
I mean, he's with Deadpool. Why not?
Yeah. Why not? Right. So,
if there's ever a time to do that, berserker mode. He maybe did.
But the Deadpool 3 is supposed to be like a buddy cop movie. That's what the concept is supposed to be. So with both of them as the buddy cop.
That'd be fun.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I think the future of the MCU is bright. Oh. So here's my thing on it. So the way I see the MCU have, from its, conception with Iron Man 1, we were riding this high through the Infinity Saga, right?
Yeah.
Endgame was the epitome, was the top notch. My favorite Marvel movie, hands down, Endgame. Don't know about you, but that's my choice.
Agreed.
We hit that peak with Endgame. Then I feel like now we're not in a downfall. I think we're just riding that high. I think we're just coasting along. We're getting more of the smaller stories in the MCU. Your Jennifer Walters, your Hawkeyes, your Yelenas.
Oh yeah.
We're getting
Kate
Echo,
Bishop. Yeah.
Daredevil. I can keep going.
Yeah.
But we're getting kind of the B squad, if you will, stories. We're getting the local heroes. I take B squad back. We're getting the local heroes stories. So, and I like it.
That's the beauty of Disney Plus. Like, we've never had a streaming network that you can use to just only put Marvel stuff and break it out into a span of, instead of a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie, and then 6 or 7 hours of cuts.
Tell more of a story.
Yeah, you can tell way more of a story over episodes.
Yes.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I fell in love with the Netflix Daredevil series, because it was 13 episodes. They were able to tell parts of the story, one big story, and each episode had its own story on top of that. So
levels.
Being able, and levels on top of levels, and that's where you build that character. That's where we all fell in love with Charlie Cox as a Daredevil.
Great Daredevil.
Yeah, so great to see him coming back with Daredevil Reborn. 19 episodes.
Oh my!
They're gonna
no 20 something. No 18.
I'll take whatever. As long as it's more than 15, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I take 6 at this point. I don't care.
No,
I'm
gonna fight for more.
I'd be yearning for more. Don't get me wrong, but absolutely. I would take whatever they give me. I will take it.
Agreed. Okay. Agreed. But yeah, I mean, just being able to tell the small stories, and I agree with, like, we took this high and we're riding the high, but I think they needed to reground us again, because
for sure
Iron Man started like, oh man, this is so cool and exciting, and then it just built, and then it got to the Infinity Stones, and you saw all the stones getting collected.
And at that point, you only had movies.
Right. Exactly. So there was a year gap between Infinity War and Endgame. And then...
longest year of my life.
Oh, so sad. I was depressed the entire time. No, I'm just kidding. But now...
anything to do.
Age of... King Dynasty and then the Secret Wars, they're like a 6 to 8 month period in the same year. That's what they're slotted to come out in the same year.
Correct. Yeah. So, that's gonna be a jam-packed year.
I'm not sure if they're gonna release anything in between. It might, maybe. I think if they do, it'll probably be a show. It probably wouldn't be anything that tied too much into it.
You think so?
No, I think that like anticipation building up for it.
I think they could put like a sequel in there.
That wouldn't tie into that though. Like, that was the only bad thing about.
Well, look how they did Ant-Man.
And the Wasp.
That came out after Endgame, after Infinity War pre-Endgame.
But that's because they didn't have Disney Plus to release the small stories in between.
And that's what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is that they could still do it. They could still potentially slide in a movie. I doubt they will, because like you said, those two tie in together so much.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say they tie in the same way Infinity War and Endgame did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct or no?
Agreed.
So,
because at the end,
I don't think they need to throw a movie in there.
No, I don't think so.
They
either.
could.
If anything, maybe like a What If 3. To kind of just like, oh man, what if
Feige, we are available for consultations.
Absolutely.
I would kill to be in that.
I will quit my job immediately to work for you.
Yes.
Sorry about you. But yeah, no, honestly, the direction that it's going, and you said we hit this peak with like our emotions way up high, and I think in my opinion, I think they grounded us already.
For sure.
With WandaVision and just, such a heartfelt ending.
Yes.
Vision just like, White Vision not knowing where the heck he's at now. There's a lot of ending to all these heartfelt things, and then it just ends like that, and we're on to the next one. You're like, okay, well.
Side note: do you know why it was called Project Cataract?
No.
Because cataracts is bad vision.
Oh no,
yes.
That's horrible. Bad vision.
Come on.
Oh no.
Name a better name for that project. I dare you.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't.
You can't. No, it's horrible though. It's sad.
Bad vision.
But he wasn't. He's enlightened now because of.
He didn't start off that way.
No, absolutely not. He almost crushed her head.
Vision said, "Let me
enlighten you." Yeah.
Enlighten you. Yeah.
All because of the theory of the ship of Theseus. That little conversation they had.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah. So I mean, the future's very bright.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely looking forward, especially Black Panther. Man, can we just talk about that for a second?
Black Panther. Yeah.
R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Man.
Absolutely. Like it's such a tragic. I was in tears when I found out.
I think everybody was.
I was downtown walking.
Just for what he meant. I mean, taking aside the MCU, what he meant for the black culture. And, and little boys, little girls around the world. Just absolutely. And he was in. I mean, let's talk about Chadwick Boseman, the actor.
Yeah. Jackie Robinson.
Top tier actor.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Very promising
actor.
career.
Yes. Yeah. He did in the short-lived career that he had. I wouldn't call it short, but in the career, in the span of the career he had, talk about powerhouse hits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, man, that dude, any role.
Yeah.
I forgot I was watching Chadwick Boseman. I thought I was watching Jackie Robinson. I thought I was watching James Brown, right?
Yeah.
He did James Brown, T'Challa. Not for 1 second did I think that was an American guy playing an African guy. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
like
I get it.
He embodied whatever character he was playing.
Do you think they're gonna recast him?
They're not. I actually saw Feige talked about it. The reason he said that they didn't, he felt like it was too soon to losing Chadwick to recast.
Yeah, I'm glad they
did.
And
I don't think they need to, honestly. You could do it if you want to go variant.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious route.
I feel like that's the only acceptable route, honestly.
Well, yeah. Thank God they figured that out.
Uproar, dude. If you just try to just slide in another actor
and pretend,
it never
happened.
Did
you see the? If they pretend it never happened, I would be turned off from that. I'd be upset.
From what I read about Wakanda Forever, they're going to pay tribute to him a lot. In
the intro, like the whole ceremony, all in white.
Just a lot throughout the movie is what I hear.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to establish the fact that Chadwick's gone.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to do it.
But I like that Shooty's taking over.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily confirmed, but somewhat. They released a Funko Pop. I think you might have shared the pictures with the dots, she wears on her face, and it had it on the helmet too.
Did you know that this was actually in talks before they even lost Chadwick?
Yeah, when she first took on the role,
about it. They were talking about it. So it was in the air.
Yeah, that's why she took the role, because she knew at some point she dons the suit of Black Panther. Absolutely.
Granted, it happened a lot sooner than they would have liked.
Yeah.
That's life, unfortunately. Things happen. You know, it was his time. As sad as it was.
Yeah.
But I think that we haven't seen the last of that saga at all.
No, absolutely not. The whole Wakanda country on its own, like, they can have their own saga on their own of how technology advanced they are, and just the characters.
Let's just talk about like Shuri taking over. What that means for women.
Yeah.
For black women, period.
Yeah.
Young black girls now have a role model look of an icon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting for Storm to come out. Honestly, Storm's gonna.
I liked Halle Berry Storm. I did. Come on.
No.
Why not?
I like the whose actress, her name escapes me, but from the First Class, and that Aurora Monroe with the mohawk.
Okay.
She portrayed it better, I believe.
You think so?
The accent and just being able to.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Halle Berry was the Robert Downey of Storm.
Right.
Like Robert Downey to Tony Stark. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I enjoyed her as Storm.
Yeah.
I bought it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's all we had.
Could they have done better? Absolutely.
Yeah.
At the time, probably not.
No, I don't think another person.
Halle was the black actress at the time. You know what I mean? The top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see anybody that could have played her.
Right.
Can you imagine Megan Good playing her? Oh goodness. From Biker Boys.
No. I know Megan Good. I'm trying to picture it.
No, I can't. But she was the only other big black actress at that time. You know what I mean? African American actress. Like she was.
Oh, you mean at that time? I thought you meant like just period.
No. At that time, like big and popping, like that could have pulled off. I mean, she was the only other one with popularity. But
I'd rather see Zendaya than any of them as Storm, honestly.
Nah, it's too late now.
No. I'm saying, if we're talking, I'm just saying as far as like those two actresses.
Yeah.
I prefer Zendaya over them for Storm.
I mean, I think what's the
I'm like covering my face on the mic.
The general in Wakanda? What's her name? The actress that plays
Okoye?
Okoye. Yeah, I think if she wasn't Okoye, she should have been.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Dude, what's the actress's name? She played Michonne in Walking Dead.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Yes, her.
Dude, she would have been a beautiful Storm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Who, when I saw her there, I was like, oh man, it's kind of a missed opportunity, but she did great. She's doing great. She has that new Netflix movie that came out too, where she's like the queen or king or something like that.
That's not her. That's Angela.
Oh, it is Angela Bassett. Yeah, I think you're right.
She looks a lot like her, though. I'll give you that. She looks a lot like, especially because they're wearing the same like garment.
Okay.
Deal.
Okay.
Yeah. I could see that mistake. I get that. Yeah, oops. But no, it's not her. Yeah, but no. Apologies.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay.
But yeah, Black Panther.
But the MCU wasn't ready for mutants at that time when they casted her.
No. So, I mean, we also didn't own the rights to mutants either.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, it was always the plan.
So we got what? Kang. Right now we are in the Kang saga, correct?
I think it's considered the multiverse saga. So
sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, not Kang saga, multiverse saga. Yes.
Yeah, so
we're in the multiverse
5,
saga.
4, 5, and 6 are all gonna be multiverse saga.
Multiverse saga. Okay.
Yeah.
And in multiverse saga, the Avenger movies will be Kang Dynasty
and Secret Wars.
And then Invasion.
That's it.
Secret Invasion.
No, Secret Invasion is a show.
That's not an Avengers.
I mean,
is it?
You might see some Avengers in there.
But it's not an Avengers title.
No. That's a Disney Plus Nick Fury thing.
Oh yes.
Yeah, with the scrolls and whatnot.
Nice. So that's the future of the MCU, right? A lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
A lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice.
I think that wraps it up for today,
guys. I
think
think so. Well, actually, we want to take it to the people really quick. What would you guys rather us talk a little bit more about Black Panther Wakanda Forever next episode, or She-Hulk?
Yeah,
we want to dive a little bit. We
talked about it.
A little bit. We could dive deeper into it. We could take it episode by episode, or we could just tell you our predictions of Black Panther Wakanda Forever and where we want to see that taken, where we think it's gonna go, what we think we're gonna see in it. We could just talk a little bit more about that. Let us know. Hit up the comments. Should we put a poll?
I think
we should do that.
We'll put a poll.
Look out for the poll. We'll have that out there. Guys, please, we want your feedback. You guys are part of the show, and we would not be able to do this without you, of course, but we want you guys' involvement in it.
Correct. So you can follow us on Instagram, Till the End of the Line, and on YouTube, and soon coming TikTok and Twitch.
Well, let's give the exact title of the Instagram. What is it? It's Till the End of the Line _ in between each word 128.
Yeah.
Yes. Follow us on there. We could probably put a link.
Yeah, we'll post it up. Yeah. You guys will see it all. We'll put a link. You guys will be able to click on it.
Odds are, if you're watching this right now, you follow our Instagram already. But
true.
Yes, but this is for the new fans we're talking to. So that's been our first episode, guys. We want to thank you guys for joining us. This has been a dream and true for us.
It's been fun.
Been a lot of fun. As always, Kike, I am with you.
To the end of the line.
That's right. Thanks, guys.